Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well. This is Ken, the Revolutionary, for another late night session. I think it's 1 a.m. If you're in Kenya, it's around evening time. If you're in East Coast of America, and it's afternoon if you're in the West Coast of the United States. If you're in Europe, it's late. It's kind of night, 10 p.m., 9 p.m., depending on where you are. If you're in Asia, it's probably late in the morning, early in the morning. So from wherever you are watching this, or you're going to watch this on repeat, please, karibu sana. Make sure that you follow the first order of business, which is what? Liking the video. And if you haven't subscribed and you're wondering what channel this is about Kenyan politics or politricks. So karibu sana, karibu sana. Make sure you subscribe if you don't know about the channel and you'd like to hear reviews and discussions about Kenyan politics and what's going on in politics in Kenya. Okay? So now that we got that in the way, I'm assuming that you've watched the video, you're watching the video or you're joining, you've subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, you've liked, and subscribed. I don't know what I'm saying, but karibuni sana. You get the deal. Karibu. It's the Revolutionary again. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades. Hey, so let's get to the mada. Mada leo, ODM-Azimio drama. It seems like ODM there's a pending imminent divorce of ODM from Azimio, or is it Azimio, other coalition members in the Azimio who are going to leave ODM to stay in that coalition by themselves? Because hiyo nyumba ya Azimio ni kama inabomoka. You heard Gladys Wanga came in today, talk a bunch of abracadabra, akituambia sijui mara sijui nini, mara karibu Kiki, nice see you KK. Karibu sana, nice see you. So there's a lot going on with ODM, the drama, majamaa wamechanganyika. Mara ODM are still, like I said this morning, karibu. They're trying so hard. Mara wako opposition. Mara they are claiming they send some experts to join the government, to help the government, because the government was facing anarchy. Mara they are still opposition. They can still nini. Mara ni mchanganyiko maalum. They are confused, or rather, they are trying to confuse their supporters. Majority of the ODM supporters, staunch supporters, die-hard supporters, they've pretty much came to a conclusion and said, we are being played. We are out of here. Nyima jamaa kumbe all you were fighting for was just these positions. Sa hizi story mingi. Mara sijui ati we were sending experts. Mara sijui Ruto came begging for us. Mara sijui Uhuru asked us to go and talk to Ruto. Mara sijui Uhuru did not do it. Mara sijui. It's just a bunch of mess. So, but like I said, majority of ODM supporters are let me not say majority. A number of ODM supporters can kind of read through the lines, between the lines, and they can tell this is just a game. ODM wants to have it both ways. They want to be the opposition and they want to be in the government. I mean, yeah. Now, the staunch supporters are saying, no. We are out of here. There's no need of staying in a house where hakuna msimamo kabisa. Speaking of which, again, we are going to talk about Jimi Wanjigi a little bit. Apparently, Jimi Wanjigi amewekwa ndani. I don't know for what reason. I will try to dig in and see. I'll go to his Twitter page in a minute and see what he's saying. Because this guy is whatever. We saw that in the morning. He went there. Alijipeleka mwenyewe. And he was telling maafisa, hey, don't touch me. Wacha kuniharakisha. Which he was right in that sense. But apparently he was, detained. I don't know if he's still detained. But ama what? And again, his political friends were quick to go, this is what I don't get. Every time an oligarch, member of the political class, any powerful Kenyan, wakona pesa, the influential people in Kenya, once they get in trouble, let's say wameenda kotini ama wameshikwa wameenda jela, or they've been attacked in their own house like last time, Wakina Raila will be so quick to go there and offer support. Today, Kalonzo Musyoka and Wamalwa ran there. As soon as they had the news that Nani ameshikwa, ndio hao, they wanted to show their public support for Wanjigi. But when these protesters, the young folks who get detained illegally during the protest, when they are arrested, you never see the Wamalwa, you'll never see Kalonzo, you'll never see Raila rushing to jail, advocating for their release, for their illegal detention. But when Jimi Wanjigi gets detained, they'll be the first one to get there. Isn't there something wrong with that picture? Is there something wrong with that picture? That's what I would like to ask you. So yeah, to me, that is something that I just don't know. It just looked weird. Anyway, as a matter of fact, another news very quickly, as I mentioned this morning, Aoko is out. Now they changed the charges that they told us they were getting her for. Okay, so they arrested Aoko at first using this as a reason. That last minute it's changed to something to do with the Amber Ray. I don't know who Amber Ray is, but I don't know. Anyway, let me start with that real quick, then we'll get to Jimi Wanjigi and then delve into the ODM. ODM members, if you're here, if you're ex-member of ODM, please, karibu. Nitaweka link baadaye, muingie munieleze maoni yenu, okay? So ODM members, or if you're just not, you don't have to be ODM member. You can be anybody. You can be ODM, you can be just a, viewer, happy viewer, and nataka kuchangia. Nitawekea link in a minute. Let me just go through these three things, talk a little bit, give you my thought on it. Then mnaweza mkaingia mniambie maoni yenu ama namna gani. Okay, let's just start real quick with Aoko. I guess her lawyer, Ali was explaining the whole change in charges. Walimpeleka kotini, they started telling her some different story mingi ambayo haieleweki. Haya, twende basi. There goes Aoko.
Needed to arrest her in the terrible manner in which did.
Let me turn the volume up a little bit.
Aoko was arrested on the basis of an application that had been made by the DCI to ransack her house and to take hold of some of her phones and her laptop and some of her machinery that she uses in her journalistic duties, because it was alleged that that whatever journalistic duties she takes part in are, it is causing a lack of peace in the public. It is upsetting the public. It is causing atrocities. However, what we found out this morning is that in her charge sheet, it is a small matter that could have been solved.
How is the things that Aoko is doing, talking about the political class, how is that causing atrocities and disturbing the public? What kind of reasoning is the DCI telling us? Hold on, let's go real quick.
It is upsetting the public. It is causing atrocities. However, what we found out this morning is that in her charge sheet, it is a small matter that could have been solved between two private citizens. So it is not clear why they even needed to arrest her in the terrible manner in which they did, in the brutal manner they did. It is our belief that that manner of arrest is meant to send a chilling effect to other citizens that may want to advocate for reform like Aoko does. Therefore, what we saw is, like you said, such an inconsistency, which we had to be here today to fight for or fight against.
So now they changed it. What? I know what these people are so stupid. Sasa DCI wamechange mambo ati sasa wait, they went and walienda kutafuta warrant so they can go ransack Aoko's house and took her electronic simu, laptops and all this stuff, because they claim that whatever journalistic duty, that job or whatever the case is that Aoko was undertaking through her YouTube, talking about, speaking of her mind about the going-ons in political sphere, was causing atrocities, was upsetting people. What is this? Ladies and gentlemen, please, hebu ingieni musubscribe hapo. Subscribe kabla sijaendelea, maana hii maneno nasikia kama nashikwa na hasira nikisoma hizi vitu. Naambiwa hapa, hawa madisi haya mapolisi makarao walienda wakatafuta warrant ya kuenda kwa nyumba ya Aoko, wakaenda wakachapa msako huko, wakasakanya, wakatafuta, wakachukua kompyuta yake, wakachukua simu na electronic devices zote ambazo zilikuwa kwa nyumba, wakazichukua kwaenda nazo na wakamshika Aoko. Alafu mbeleni walituambia ati sijui, in fact I'll tell you mbeleni kitu walisema. Walianza kusema sijui using sijui data for I don't know what, mara sijui. Sasa kufika kotini, mara wanaanza kusema ati Aoko alikuwa hiyo journalistic duty ambayo alikuwa anafanya inafanya watu unafanya atrocities ifanyike. What kind of atrocities? Do they even know what atrocities is? Atrocities ni kama mimi ningesema kitu hapa kwa channel yangu, halafu na incite watu waende wakapigane wachapane panga huko. That will be something that will fall under. But nowhere did Aoko say something remotely close to that. Okay? So they are basically lying about it. Mara wakaanza kuingia sijui alisema kitu juu ya Amba, sijui Amba nani, huyo Amba sijui ni Nata ni nani. What's going on in Kenya jamani? Where is the freedom of speech? Hii ndio maneno nilikuwa naleta asubuhi. Nilikuwa nasema. Mnakumbuka ile video nilicheza asubuhi? Hata nilionyesha the charges that they were trying to put against Aoko. Wacha niwaonyeshe ile charges walikuwa nasema ati Aoko alikuwa nayo. Charges ya asubuhi ilikuwa nini? Vile walimpeleka kotini. The reason why they caught her, it was saying that, let me read here, Scofin Aoko Otieno alias Maverick Aoko, awaiting prosecution at the Milimani Law Courts, excuse me, over alleged publication of false information, cyber harassment, and fraudulent use of electronic data. Fraudulent use of electronic data, cyber harassment, and false information. Yeye alitoa maoni yake like anybody else. This is podcasting. Podcasting, what is podcasting? People give their views on any issue. Tunaweza kuwa na podcast ya mpira, tuseme mchezaji kama Messi, mpira siku hizi hajui kucheza, Messi sucks ama nini. Hiyo ni maoni yake. Pia tukiingia siasa unaweza kuamka useme, haya mimi nikiona Aden Duale hafanyi kazi nzuri. Mwanzo inasemekana Aden Duale alikuwa na date sijui nani. That is not slander. That is not illegal. Hiyo ni maoni yangu. Because it's in the context of entertainment, and within this entertainment, I'm using my opinion. I'm issuing my opinion. So like, then when I say it's causing atrocities. Atrocity gani ilikoziwa kwa based on what Aoko said. Unaona hii mchezo wa town. We have to stand against things like that. They keep on changing the goalposts. Wanajaribu kutafuta kitu chochote. If you want to know that a case is useless, the prosecutor, the people who are bringing this case against them, mshtakiwa, always changes the charges. Mara charge ilikuwa hivi na sasa wanageuza, unaona wanatafuta kitu because there's nothing. Aoko simply gave her view on the ODM people joining government, gave her view about the ODM party, gave a view about Raila Odinga's uselessness, gave her view on how the president is incompetent, gave a view on the historical incompetence, the scoundrels, the amateurs, the ineptitude, the charlatans that are holding these positions in power, CSS and MPs. She highlighted that in her own personal podcast. Na mnataka kumshikia nini sasa? Si ni maoni yake? Kwani siku hizi watu hawezi kutoa maoni yao? Right. KK anasema distraction always helps the ones in power. They are trying anything that can stick. It will get worse. It's Aoko, if you're watching this, you umekaribishwa. Kuja ujitetee hapa. We are inviting you to come. Come, if anybody knows Aoko, please mtumie message mwambia kuja hapa kwa Kenya Revolutionary Channel. Kuja ongea, ajitetee hapa, aongee vile anataka. Tutamfungulia kamera. Guest of honor. Wanjiko anasema yani atrocities are happening among the fake happy couple. Wait, who are the couples she's talking about? Najua mimi hata sijui. Nilikuwa nasikia sijui mtu anaitwa Amber sijui nani. Can somebody tell me the couples? At atrocities. Jacinta. Karibu Jacinta. Blessing Jacinta. Teresa Smith, nice seeing you. Like, share, subscribe. Kama huja subscribe. What kind of, that's the funny part. M1G atrocities ilikuwa zinafanyika. I guess atrocities. Mtu alichapwa ngumi, hiyo ni atrocity. Ay. watu kweli wanatafuta vitu zingine hata ambaa ziko. Ai. Hui. Wacha tu, mi hata sijui niseme nini jamani. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Now, there's a clip I want to show you guys very quickly because it relates to Kenya. And it reminded me of what happened with John Mbadi. With who? John Mbadi. Mbadi, remember, put this in context. At the context. Remember this. Mental note. Mbadi is the CS of what? Treasury. Mbadi is the CS of what? Treasury. Higher. Who was the first person to visit Mbadi in his office as the Treasury CS? Who? Somebody tell me, please. Hii ni puzzle ya leo. Who was the first one? Which representative? Nani alienda kusalimia Mbadi siku ya kwanza kwa ofisi yake? Who? Hey, bado hamjui. Nitawaambia. A representative of the IMF. IMF representative was the first one to visit Mbadi in his office. Munanisikia? Mbadi was visited by who? A representative, I forgot his name. A representative from the IMF. Now, listen to this clip very closely because this is the same script that is being used on African countries and it is active. Hiyo script inatumiwa saizi. Listen carefully. Fungua masikio usikie. Listen. Mmesikia? Some of you have seen this clip before, but I will play it nevertheless for those of you who haven't seen it yet. Here it is. Angalieni. Ndio maana mimi nawaambianga everything is interrelated. Sasa ingine mnanisikianga mkisema mambo ya sijui Russia, USA, World Bank, IMF, it's all related. Sikia hii clip vizuri, very closely, very closely. This happened to Congo, but you can relate to Kenya. You can apply it to Kenya. Listen to me. Hold on.
Ground as fast as possible.
Hold on.
Zaire gave up control over their economy to the IMF. This was not a conspiracy. It was just like a known thing, meaning the government of Zaire had to place IMF officials in its government, in the treasury, in control of the economy. And we would shape the economy usually to do two things.
Did you hear what he said? Zaire government had to place IMF people in the treasury, in their treasury department, in their treasury. Who is Mbadi? Who is Mbadi? Who is Mbadi? What position is Mbadi occupying? CS of Treasury. Who was the first one to visit Mbadi? Who was the first one to visit Mbadi? I want to see people answer me right now. Yeah? Nani alivisit Mbadi? I'll pull that picture. I'll pull that picture in a minute. Ngoja kidogo. But listen to what he's saying. It's only a minute new. Wanjigi. Yes, IMF. Thank you very much, KK. Wanjiku. See, apparently akina Raila and other wazitos, the Airbnb adventures allegedly face pink, drinking tea. Hiya. Let me finish the clip. It's a very short one. He's explaining how Congo was taken over by IMF and related to Kenya because the same script. That's why when I had this clip, I was like, ding, 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 ding. Mbadi, here.
Zaire gave up control over their economy to the IMF. This was not a conspiracy. It was just like a known thing, meaning the government of Zaire had to place IMF officials in its government, in the treasury, in control of the economy. And we would shape the economy usually to do two things in the tropics. We would focus on extractive industries. So like, let's get this stuff out of the ground as fast as possible without any benefits accruing to the local population. In fact, we'd often like ruin the environment around them and, make their life miserable. And number two, agriculture stuff. So we would like force them to do this like monocrop kind of industrial scale agriculture, usually of things that they couldn't eat, that they would export to us for our consumption. Palm oil, rubber, tea, coffee, etc. So we would like engineer their society to do this and to be more dependent. In order to do so, this is an export-led model. You want the exports to be cheap, right? So that means you need the currency to be weak. So we would devalue the currency again and again and again and again. And you basically want to like shrink the economy. Like you don't want the government to be like providing any subsidies to its people or like healthcare, education. No. That's only for rich countries. Now, of course, the dictator takes his cut. But beyond that, there's like nothing for the people left over.
Of course, the dictator takes his cut. The dictator
gave up.
The dictator does what? Takes his cut. Ruto anachukua cut yake. Of course, wakina Raila pia wanataka wapewe kitu kidogo. So hao pia ndio maana unaona wanaenda maandamano pia wapate hiyo ako kakati hiyo Ruto upatanga. It's in billions if not trillions that they loot from taxpayers. Nikiwaambia, that's why I told you I like the fact that the Gen Zs wanted to go and demonstrate in front of what? IMF and World Bank. I liked that. Nilipenda hiyo. And that's why last time we were having a discussion with my good friends here where Kiki was among them. I kept on asking my friends who all kind of disagree with me respectfully, and they were giving very valid points. They had very good points. Okay? But I was trying to get an answer from them which they could not quite answer. Because my question was them, how are we going to detach ourselves from this IMF and World Bank? We have tuko na deni hambaya hatuwezi kulipa. The only way we can pay it is by kufanya nini? Kutumia hiyo the ninio of odious debt. Tuseme hii deni ilichukuliwa illegally by those people who took it. Wakina Ruto, wakina Uhuru, wakina Moi, wakina Kibaki. This is odious debt. See your debt here too. Now watu wachilie. Alafu ile imebaki tulipe. That's how we can detach ourselves. Alafu tuambie IMF, mambo tokeni Kenya, mmeshaiba ya kutosha. That's the only way. But I told them, again, as we know, that's why I kept on giving that example of Burkina Faso. The man has, Ibrahim Traore has survived 16 assassination attempts. Tangu achukue Burkina Faso. And I changed Burkina Faso. Unaona? And he even refused the help of the French. He refused the help of IMF. He refused the help of World Bank. He refused the help of US. Alisema ile pesa wana collect from tax is enough to sustain them. Na revitalize so many industries. Their gold, wanaitengeneza hapo, wanajenga kaninio pale, wata process their gold in their own country. They don't have to ship it in France. Their cotton factory imerevitaliziwa. Uranium ile walikuwa wanatuma huko France, wamekata, wamesema hatuwatumii. Na France mkitaka ninio, mkitaka uranium kutoka kwetu, tutawaambia bei ni nini. Si ati nyinyi ndio mnadetermine bei ni nini. Mafuta ile inapita, inatoka huko Nigeria ikipita huko Burkina Faso ikienda huko Europe, anawaambia hii kitu haipiti hapa, haiendi France. Hakuna. Tumekata. Hakuna. Self-dependence. But my argument was this, as last I still maintain this. In order, kumbuka, hizi ni investment ambao hawa wakoloni waliweka hapa Kenya. That's why even if you listen to the US ambassador to Kenya, when she was in Spice FM, she had to correct herself. She was like, Kenya is a company. Kenya is a what? I don't know if you guys listened to that clip when she said that. She said, Kenya is a company. Then she corrected herself. I mean, is a country. Which means our colony wanaona, these are still colonies of their ninio. Countries zao. Wanaangalia nchi kama Kenya as tunatepatanga do hapa. That's where we extract ninio maua, tuna extract mahindi, tuna extract ninio. And then they sell you all this mafuta and all this nasty. You see what I'm saying? It's not really fair trade as they call it. No. That's why you find that That's why you find that we import a lot of things. KK, what didn't you hear? Ile siku nani? Ile US ambassador link for KK, can you vile US ambassador called Kenya nini your company? Is that what you're referring to? Ama what part? Nisaidie ndio nikutafutie hiyo nini. I can look for it right now. I can look for it right now. I think it's in my page somewhere. So you get it. Ndio maana nawaambia, hold on. KK, I'm waiting for you. Okay, yes. All right. Let me find it for you. Really quick. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and subscribe. Like the video. Nyote hapa mulike mkiona hii video. Wacha nitafutie KK hiyo nini. It's a small, hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It was on my page, but it's been a while. Let me just say. Hold on. Wacha niwatafutie. Sorry guys, I was just looking for that clip real quick so I can show. If you want to just the Neo, anyway, let me find the clip. But it was on that Neo, ile 60 years of Kenya-US diplomatic relations. But let me find the actual clip where she says Kenya is a company. That's when you'll get it. And she had to catch herself. Mesha Kipto, IMF, I see you. We are being exploited right and left, my people. Yes, we are being exploited. People, like the video, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. While I find this clip for my friend here, Kiki, I played it one day here. It's a while back. Let me just go back to my Maninio Zaki Tambo here. Probably find it, hopefully. It'll just be right. Meanwhile, let me play you something while I... Sasa zile naitafuta hivyo, wacha niwachezee mambo ingine. I will find it in a minute. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Uno momento. Ndio msikae hapo kama mna. Let's look at all this. What happened today? Okay. Meanwhile, I'm finding you. No, I'm coming. I have to. This is so important. Tuangalia kina Kalonzo Musyoka zile tunangangana na hii clip. All right, here is wakina Musyoka walienda kutetea Jimi Wanjigi, walikifika mambo watu vijana ambao wanashikwa kwa maandamano huwaoni, lakini Jimi Wanjigi utampata kwa Jimi Wanjigi. Hii watu. Hold on. Sasa leo internet pia imesema haitaki kabisa. Is this what's happening? Kwani... All right, hold on. Yo. Okay, let me show you. This is... Hold on. Haya, Kalonzo wa Musyoka ndio huyo basi.
What you have seen at Kamukunji police station today is completely unacceptable. It is unconstitutional. It is illegal. It's impunity at its height. Mr. Jimi Wanjigi has a properly issued restraining order against his arrest until matters are canvassed in court. So we treat it as another case of abduction. This is what it is. And it's a proper case of hires from above, because no police officer would want to commit such impunity. I have spoken to the officer in charge, Mr. Mugo, and he has assured us of the safety of Jimi Wanjigi while he's in custody, while we pursue the matter of contempt of court. It's a very clear case of contempt of court, and we don't want to live in a country like this. But it is our country, and we shall live in it.
We are told even the bodyguard of Jimmy is called Kibe. He has been abducted. They cannot trace him where he has been taken. At least we've been able to see Jimmy here himself. His family is totally traumatized. But the abductions are still going on. A lot of young people have disappeared in this country. Policemen are still wearing masks and hooded regalia while making these abductions in their Subarus, in plain clothes. So this is a country that has gone rogue completely, and we must condemn it from Kamkunji and across the country.
Thank you.
So there you see it. This Jimi Wanjigi thing, I do not get it. I don't know why they are so. Kwani Jimi Wanjigi peke yake ndio mtu ambaye anaweza kurinio hii Gen Z. I mean, what I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. I do not understand how this thing works. For those of you who wants to see that clip by Meg Whitman making that reference to Kenya as a company, please go to my X page or Twitter and scroll back. It's some days back, some weeks back actually, when Wigman, or you can go watch the whole interview when she was being interviewed by Spice FM. I mean, Spice FM, 60 years of US and Kenyan relationship, and you'll see that clip. Hopefully they won't hopefully it's not Awajai edit, because she said it, then she caught herself and had to fix that. But it was quite telling. Some people didn't miss that in Neo. You can't just call, it's not by accident calling Kenya company, because you remember Kenya used to be part of East African. They used to call Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda used to be part of. They used to call it what, East African company or something like that, back in the day, colonial days. Once the British got here and established their, companies, ambayo some of them we are still paying them actually for them to be out. Just like Senegal are still paying 500 billion, I think, annually to the French. They're calling it colonial debt. That's what I'm saying. I was making this point that it will be very hard. It's possible, but when we are trying to free ourselves, we're in the process of trying to free ourselves, we should be very aware that the powers that are supporting Ruto are actually the colonialists. That's where he gets his real support. When I'm support, it is in their interest. You had the guy say, yana patakati yake, as long as, and that's how ndio maana unaona this political class, they are really together. Wameshikana pamoja because they understand hiyo cut wamepewa, that ndio maana unaona corruption is so rampant, and they are looting everywhere with no worry about DCI, EACC, all this nonsense, because they know they're being backed by the colonialists. Na hizo vyombo vya military ambayo wanatumia to tear gas people, where do you think they get them from? Ndio maana you see Ruto is very, very arrogant. Doesn't care. Nyinyi mlikuwa mnafikiri ati Raila no. Ruto was very arrogant because he knows as long as the West tell her that you're still in good hands, we are supporting you, he will continue to be arrogant because at the end of the day, amejua bado US has and British still have their military bases in Kenya. And if things get worse, they'll just use the Kenyan army through them to squash things. We haven't got to that position yet. But I'm just saying, the only challenge is if the people rise up peaceably, like the Gen Zs did, that is the greatest challenge because they can't intervene and it will be hard for them to get involved because it will be a Kenyan people initiated movement where the military cannot intervene, especially if it's peaceful. They will have no choice but to leave. Okay? But before they leave, they will try to infiltrate the organization. And that is what is going on right now. That's why you see a lot of infighting between Hanifa, Boniface Mwangi, who else? All these young folks that were really faces of the Ninio. Wengine wakanunuliwa. That's part of the plan. That is part of the plan. They infiltrate to make sure that that movement that galvanizes people, that brings people together, does not succeed. And even if they succeed, they'll try to identify any leader. I mean, Magufuli started doing really good things for Tanzanians. And where did Magufuli end up? Is it a coincidence? I mean, some people might say, you Magufuli alikuwa mgonjwa. Go look at it closely. Go look at it. Go investigate. This was not a normal. It was not a normal death by Magufuli. You just go do your research. Ndio maana mimi nikiwaambia, in order to protect, in order to take over, in order for you to, in order to secure in order to secure the minerals and the resources that we have in Kenya, we have to have the capability of defending ourselves. We have to have the capacity. We have to be capable militarily. And if we can't, we have to turn to people who can actually help us. Last time somebody told me that, they were saying, Gaddafi, do you know why Gaddafi alitolewa? The only reason also Gaddafi also was removed is because Gaddafi, remember, he was working on his nuclear weapons or whatever the case is. And I told you, before they removed Gaddafi, they made sure that Gaddafi complied with the IAEA, to stop developing his nuclear weapons, his nuclear program. That was part of the deal. Walimdanganya ati we endelea, we wacha hii kitu alafu we shall take you off the terrorist list. We'll no longer consider you a terrorist state. No. And once he did that, and they confirmed that he had already dismantled his nuclear program, they went straight ahead and took out Gaddafi. Okay? So that's how they do it. Anyway, I can't find this clip. It's way, way, way back there. But anyway, I was trying to find that, again, if you want to find that clip that he says that, go look at Spice FM, Meg Whitman, 60 years of Kenya, whatever, Kenya 60 years collaboration or whatever, with US. So, no. Nani anasema Keki anasema he died of Do you know what's? Let me tell you something. Even though I have to be careful because YouTube is really, really, really careful with that. That thing that you've mentioned, Iyo ugonjwa, do you know the president of Haiti, the previous president, and Magufuli were one of the few presidents in the world, and even Japan, and Japan too, in the world. The Japanese president, the former Japanese president, Magufuli, and the Haitian president from Haiti that refused to have the lockdowns in their country. Walisema hii ugonjwa tunaweza kuitibu naturally. Yule wa Haiti alisema sisi hii ugonjwa tunaweza kuitibu naturally. What happened to him? Alichapwa bunduki akakufa. The Japanese president alisema mimi sitakuwa na lockdowns. Akawapatia Invectimine, whatever the case is. What happened to him? Alichapwa bunduki akakufa. Magufuli, kumbuka Magufuli. Magufuli was the few presidents ambaye alisema mimi sitafunga country yetu. Hii ugonjwa haiko hapa Tanzania, tunaweza kuitibu naturally. Alikufa hivyo. And how can he die of something that he actually said that is not even a threat to his country, to a point where he never had a lockdown? So do your math. Do your math. Okay. You can't prove, but here it is. This is what I'm... Sit tight, right where you are. Don't move. Don't move. KK. Nakuwekea link in a minute. KK, unaona hii kitabu? Unaona hii kitabu? Now, this gentleman wrote a book. Unanisikia? Hopefully you're ninio. Let me I'll put your link for you here. Waliandika kitabu wakikuelezea how they usually operate, just like the IMF. Wanakuletea agenda, the president of the day. Kama ni Ruto, wanakuja na agenda, wanamwambia agenda ni hivi. Akikataa, wanaenda wanapatia mtu pesa kama, let's say Makoure or whatever. I'm just using it for example. Kasmuel becomes famous, anapetiwa pesa na watu wa ninio, Ford company, whatever, Ford Foundation, wanatoa Ruto. Lakini Ruto akisurvive, Ruto akisurvive ninio, wanasema okay, that does not work. Watajaribu kumdedisha. Kama ifanyi, wataleta upuzi, wanasema Ruto is violating sijui nini, hata anachapa watu. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Tunawaambia hivi, the same thing happened with the hizo maugonjwa. He explained it. The same thing, the agenda. Wanakuambia hii ndio kitu inafaa tufanyie. Surprise, wacha nikuwekea link. I know you want to be part of the conversation. I'll be here for roughly another 20 minutes, then I'll be out. But let me put you in so that now you have something you want to say. And anybody else, really. It's not only Kiki. Anybody can come in that wants to discuss this. Link to your Kiki. I need to pay for my StreamYard. Unajua hata niko natumia ile basic kabisa. But link is there, nani Kiki, karibu sana. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Hiyo pia inakuja. So, what I'm trying to say is this. While I don't have concrete proof to say that huyu alidedishwa kwa sababu ya hii, but you can see what a coincidence. the three presidents in different continents who refused to follow the advisory of the World Health Organization. Wakasema sisi, we are sovereign, we are going to take care of this ugonjwa kivyetu. And surprise, surprise, all three of them walichapwa bunduki, with the exception of nani ambao alikufa ati amekufa COVID. By the way, they had been trying to get rid of nani Magufuli. Remember, there's a time when he got Ninio, walijaribu kumpoison. He even talked about it when he was saying he had to consult with the former president Mkapa, President Mkapa. Because they tried to kumwekea sumu. Can I find that? Should I find that clip? Unanipeleka kwa maneno. Yes. Because Magufuli alikataa kuninio. Magufuli was really, really going to change Tanzania. He was in the process. Wakajaribu kuweka watu kadhaa hapo kusimama against him, a popular revolution, which failed. Okay? But he maintained, he stayed in Ninio. Ndio nasema, any Ninio. Ndio maana unaona nani. That's why I said, the president, especially of Burkina Faso, survived 16. He's only been in power for what? Almost 2 years now? 16 coup d'etats, assassination attempts on his life. And what's the difference between him and others? Yalingia, by the way, he never increased salary for himself. But he increased salary for the workers, madaktari, walimu, na anything. The thing that is happening in Burkina Faso, I'm telling you, it's eye-opening. But we have to be careful. That's why I'm saying, I understand the people who are saying, depending on Urusi, Russians might not be the place to go, because even though sometimes you can have somebody who is an Isaac supported by Russia, but they might turn out to be dictators. So it depends with the kind of leader who will be leading, because in Mali, we saw Mali is quite the opposite. Yes, Juma, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Ni wewe Kiki ama ni Juma?
You know Juma kind of is a copy of Juma. So I actually I do believe in part of your theory. I don't think it's something verifiable. So I tend to think when you engage this kind of, it's just a different opinion anyway. The theory is good, but I think we get distracted from what we're talking about. We're talking about what's happening in Kenya, and I get where this conversation came from. It came from. Can you mute that, please? Mute that, please. This conversation comes from a place of we are thinking about what our country can be, should be, would be, and what we want our country to be. There's this is where me and you don't agree at all. We can't talk about tomorrow when today we don't even know we're going to be there tomorrow. So there's a good reasoning with how you're thinking of tomorrow, protecting ourselves. That's fair. And all of us, even if we're not there yet, we have to think that way. Eventually, or before there, we can live tomorrow when Ruto is still in power. And I don't mean Ruto himself, I mean the whole people, the whole Uhuru, everybody. We are trying to get a political class, because if you think about it, what we are going through it didn't start with Ruto. It started with even I saw an article on what do you call it? I think on Nation today. They talked about how Kenyatta was getting paid even when he was in prison or whatever they called it. He was getting
the 5 Kapunguria 5 or something. Yes.
So I think there's a part of it which is kind of true in a way, and the other part of kind of distraction too. For example, the government knew all this information before we did. So they're trying to divide the Kikuyus, the Uhuru people, the Kenyatta people, the Kibaki people, all that nonsense. But Gen Zs have said, And some people like me have said we have to go back and audit our country from when we got the independence. And this is where they're coming to divide us eventually, because they know, even Kenyatta himself, how did you get 10,000s of acres? Did you buy them? How did you buy them? There's all that. So that's why we have to focus a little bit and focus on all these things. We can figure them out. We can be able to investigate them. We can be able to audit them. As even if we have Kalonzo, assuming I saw some stupid stuff online. Oh, Kalonzo is the one who is going to, the Mount people are going to support Kalonzo. The same people who are the problem. Who Kalonzo has his own issues too. Raila has his own issues. Raila is a drunkard who can, people knew his own shit. Right. So none of these people are clean. And as far as we're using these people who are dirty still, that's how the West are able to control you. They know your weaknesses. The government, the people don't know. They tell you, if you don't do this, we'll let the people know this. Again, even if you're in the power, they leak all this stuff. Then again, we start the whole shit again. So that's why I think the most important thing, we have to go back and be able to audit everything. But we can't be able to do this with the same political class.
Okay. Now, and I agree with you 100%. I think we are not in disagreement. The only thing, I understand why you say you feel like it's a distraction. The only reason why I usually mention the whole Western foreign interference with Kenya is because I think when we, in this process of trying to remove Ruto and all this political class, Ruto, Raila, and all these useless people who have let this country down, we should understand the nature of what we are dealing with. That's why I said, why do you think Ruto has this confidence that, we have, yani tunaandamana and he still akuna hiyo arrogance as if he knows everything will be okay. The reason why I say that is because you'll end up in situations where you have something called a fake revolution. What I call it, fake revolution. Tunaenda tunatoa Ruto and all these people that we want out. Then we put somebody in there of our own choice. Maybe he's been there has been there within the movement. Let me just use Kasmuel for the sake of example. I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just saying mtu kama huyo, he has been propped up by the West, and then ikifika mahali tuchatoa akina Ruto, we put Kasmuel there, tunasema hey, finally we got our man, and then a few months later we find ourselves in the same place where we started, because you start seeing analeta the same policies about Ruto alileta, the same policies about Kenyatta had, the same policies Moi, and that's the fear. That's why I was so happy, because these Gen Z, they understand it. That's why you saw, unakumbuka vile walikuwa nasema ati we are going to protest in front of, is it World Bank or IMF in Nairobi? You remember that? So that is why I mentioned it. Now, I get it. You're saying I think what you're saying is, let's focus on step one. Step one is, let's see how we are getting Ruto out, right?
No, I don't. Yes and no. When I say Ruto, it means everybody has to go.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll correct
removing the political class. Mm-hmm.
This Maxwell guy, he seems like a good kid, but as well as they are smart, they are very easily manipulated. That's why the conversation we had last week, I think, we talked about, he was saying like we have to have our own common good. But that's how you manipulate people. That's why somebody got to him. He is a very genuine kid. Somebody got to him. That's why you hear the whole demonstrations is like, oh, I can't do this, but I didn't want to do demonstrations, but you see, people are changing.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying we remove everybody. Even him, we have to vet him too.
Yes.
Everybody has to be vetted. And anything that you have, if you have 100K in your name, everything that you have has to be by your name. So even the West cannot be able to bribe you, because how are you going to bribe? Can I bribe you? Then you give you whatever the bribe was, send it to somebody else, and they are attached to you. Eventually, they can jump you. They will say, okay, you got your bribe for 20 million, and you give it to your friend who is not associated with you, but they can still jump you. Still, they can say, oh, I didn't get none of this. So we have to verify everything and everybody who is a servant of us, the people themselves. There you go. So I get the point of killing people. That's fair. The West will try to kill whoever. If it's me and you, they will try to kill us too. It's a fact. That's why I said again, the system has to be strong enough, well secured, even if it's not me and you. The foundation is the same. They can come and kill you and me, and they might try. But when you're dead, tomorrow we have somebody else we are vetting everything that they're doing. So they have all the technologies. We know people. And at the end of the day, if you do against what we want, unless you get out of the country, then how can you run a country out of your country? And we know your people anyway. Unless you move people out of your country, and then you be the president of the country where even your own people don't live. We have the means and mechanisms of making these people very accountable to us, to the people themselves.
Good point. Bernard, I see you there. What's happening with you? Your great friend Raila Odinga seems to be giving us different answers. I saw him drunk somewhere in Marsabit, I don't know where, Marakwet, whatever the case is. He doesn't want to meet up with Uhuru. What's going on with your people, Bernard? Of course, I'm joking.
My people,
nice.
My people are very consistent. You know, I had the previous speaker, the guy who was just talking, saying we need to get rid of everyone, including Uhuru. So I'm wondering how we're getting rid of Uhuru. Uhuru is retired. So I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. So, you know,
can I explain to you, Bernard?
Yeah, can you answer that?
So the point I'm trying to say is, I'm saying anybody who has been in government, whoever they are not part. They can vote like everybody else. We have to have, like, you can support somebody with the finances. You can. We have the same issues are affecting whatever. For example, if you're in the US, for example, you have the whole people, a billionaire funding $2 billion to Trump or Harris or whatever it is, or that way you remove the money out of the whole government, then the interest of the people. If you are a billionaire, you have a vote as me. As a poor person, then our powers are equal, even if you're mega rich. So what I'm trying to say is he doesn't have power more than you do or I do. And everything that they can prove they have earned, that's what we have to go back to. How do you have these 10,000 acres? Can you prove how you got them? That's where we have to go. And I'm saying we have to go from the 1963. Because once we start from 10 years ago, even some in this group have benefited from the loots in our country. Let's be factual. Let's not be naive. Even some in this group has benefited of the loots. It might not be this government or the last government, but they have benefited from the Kibaki government or whoever before that, or Moi's government. We have to go back from there. And yeah, that's it.
So just to respond to you, trying to make everyone equal and having everyone have the same voice and same power, that's called communism. And it does not work in the United States.
No.
It cannot work in Kenya.
Don't do that here. We do not do that here. We are not stupid. Communism and socialism is not the same. Fairness and communism is not the same. Socialism and fairness is not the same. It's not making anybody equal. If you didn't earn it, if you did not earn it, you are a thief. I don't know how you describe it. If you could describe that as communism, go ahead.
The problem is that tomorrow, I could tell you my itinerary for next week or something. I'll be vacationing at a 5-star facility in an exclusive place. And if I say that in this group or people and I share my pictures, then the next thing someone says this guy's a thief because he's vacationing in a 5-star hotel, a place that costs $1,000 a night. You see, we cannot be the same.
No.
The same.
No. Have you ever served in government? How many people have gone in vacations and showed a lot of pictures? I have never been investigated on even one time. So let's use facts. Let's not use analogies or something that doesn't make sense. There's a lot of people in Kenya who are rich, fairly rich. They even have their own private jets. Do we investigate them? No, we don't.
But you just say that nobody should give $1 billion to a campaign. You just say that.
Yes. The point of saying that it means my voice and the billionaire is not this. It's different. You have one vote, I have one vote. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but a billionaire can influence a million more votes.
No, I think what you meant is... Hold on. I think like in the US... Hold on, Juma. I think what you mean is, I think in the US, the most you can give individually cannot exceed $2,000 in a campaign. I think that's what it is.
Absolutely not true.
Go ahead. You cannot give your...
You can use super PACs.
Can we use Google?
Can you use super PACs?
That is absolutely not true. Elon Musk is publicly donating $50 million to Trump every month.
He's using a super PAC.
No. He cannot give his own money. He cannot give his own money to a campaign. That's why you see I think there was a ruling, United Way or something, that companies and foreign governments can actually now donate money to campaigns, which is a very controversial ruling by the Supreme Court. But individually as a person, me writing a check to a campaign, I cannot give out more than $2,000 to a campaign.
But you don't need to do that. But you can buy TV ads for that candidate. Why do you need to give money to the candidate?
You cannot.
The point I'm trying to say. The point we are trying to make, Bernard, the point is this. They are trying to limit influence. Because let's say if you're running a campaign, Bernard, you're running for president, and I give you $50 billion to run your campaign. Most likely, if you become a president, most likely I will have a huge say on how your government will be run because I gave you money to campaign, and now that you're president, I might ask you, hey, make me the secretary general or whatever the case is. You get what I'm saying?
That is correct, yes.
Right. And that's why there's this, you had McCain campaigns, finance reform and all this nonsense. That was it's all about. So I think Juma, yes.
And that's why McCain lost.
Rebo. No. Right. Rebo, can I add this to what you just said? If I gave you too much money, you owe me. And this is exactly what's wrong with the whole system. I'll give you an example. Meg Whiteman is one of I think HP or Dell. She was a billionaire from that. She contributed to Biden, and she knew. She knew HP, yeah. She knew what we have already. And the interest of her herself as a billionaire is what she's pushing. And I think even Biden doesn't know, or they are part of the whole thing. But this is what's wrong with our own government. Even in the US, and this is what we have to change even in our own country, back home.
Okay. Yeah, Meg Whitman, she's sketchy. I mean, I know she was in HP. Then before that, she was the CEO of eBay. She tried to run for governor in Nairobi, governor of California, and she was found having an illegal, somebody with no papers in there, and that's how she lost. But to the point, anyway, Bernard, I know you were you were giving a submission, but I think the point, like he was saying, Juma, the point Juma was saying is like we need to audit our debts and how this public officials that have been there since 1963, because we know majority of them made their billions, if not trillions, in Kenyan shillings by looting government. I mean, all the people that I usually mention that Bernard, you say I fight all the time, I can guarantee you, Raila, Uhuru, Ruto, Kibaki, Moi, these people have stolen money. I don't have enough evidence, but if you give me time, I can prove it.
Listen, please. I have challenged so many people in my life, so many, to show me evidence of something Uhuru stole.
Bernard, did you read the Neo? Did you read the Neo? Is it Pandora or Panama Papers that were written by journalists from all over the world?
I did. He had all money stashed all over in the foreign governments.
So whatever the Pandora Papers says is true.
He hasn't disputed it. He hasn't taken anyone in court.
Yes, that's why you should not be commenting on things that you don't even understand.
Be nice, Juma.
So I can go print anything about anyone and it becomes factually true because I printed it and said it.
If it's a lie, you can take me to court and I can pay for. I can be liable.
It's verifiable from the bank. The bank
if it's
information matches.
So,
and I'm
if
saying
you're a rich
this,
person, you should be spending your entire day defending yourself in courts against accusations and libel.
It doesn't require the entire day. All I'm saying is this: if I print something in a newspaper, I'm a newspaper, and I print something that is not factual, you can sue me.
So since you read that report, so what property? What did he steal?
No, this was the question. The question was, I'm helping Bernard.
No, you're not helping me because
I'm getting to you. I'm getting there.
Tell me he has 5,000 acres in this place.
Okay, I'm getting there. He's the one who started this whole thing, auditing of this and that, and he said, remember the speech he gave, I think it was Mombasa, same, Ata Tutangalia, Huyu, Ruto, and other lifestyle audit, okay?
Yes.
Then, when the Pandora thing came out, and Kenyans were asking, okay, how did you make all this money given the assets and the bank accounts that you have in Switzerland, London, and what business did Uhuru do as an individual to make this Uhuru family, the Kenyatta family, let me say that. What kind of business did they do? Where did they? It's not public. That's the whole point of having that in Neo, these offshore accounts, because he was hiding it.
What the Kenyattas own is public.
It is hidden.
It is.
Listen,
NCBA is traded in the Nairobi Stock Exchange.
Engage him for a minute, please.
Okay.
Bernard, no, let me engage.
Go ahead.
For a minute. So let me ask you, do you know why people have banks in Switzerland and they don't even live there? Do you know why people...
Secrecy.
Do you know why people have offshore accounts, LLCs, in a place where they never even landed?
Yeah, for secrecy.
See,
why?
Why secretive? Why do you have to be secretive, dude?
Uhuru has no bank account in Switzerland. Show me that bank account number and his name.
Yes, you show me he doesn't have one. You show me he doesn't have one. Then
I can show you. I can show you a bank that he owns. NCBA.
You're a moron, man. You're a moron.
Okay, so, wait. Let's not call each other names. Let's keep it fair. Let's keep it respectful. We can disagree, but let's not call each other names.
That is pure evidence of what I'm saying. That someone reads something somewhere, they become so emotional about what they're reading.
No, it just shows you're a moron and you're naive, or you're even corrupt.
Juma. Let's keep it respectful. If you start calling each other names, we are not going to have a debate. Then we miss the whole point. And there are people who want to listen.
That's why Uhuru's name is being dragged everywhere, because it's an affront against the Kikuyu.
Then defend him.
This is an affront against the Kikuyu.
I'm a Kikuyu too. Defend him. You yourself defend him.
Yeah, he's my personal friend, and I'm not ashamed.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we are just saying this, and we are going to say this.
There you go. He's your personal friend.
I mean,
that's why you're blind.
Which is okay. You can defend your friend. You're a good friend indeed. Defend him.
I'm asking you a question. I challenge people everywhere.
And I'm answering you.
Show me. Nobody has ever told me on this date, I have evidence. I was there. Who signed this, or is showing this, and he owns that. He took this from so and so, and I have first-hand evidence, or I have hard evidence. This is what he did. Everybody comes to me. This is hearsay. This was published here. So and so said this.
Okay, Bernard.
It is pure politics.
Okay. Hold on. Let's start here, Bernard. Jomo Kenyatta, before he became president, what did he do for a living?
He was poor.
Yes. Okay. So how did he amass this wealth, land, and all these businesses after his death? And how did his family become rich?
He did not amass wealth after his posthumously. He became rich while still president. Through something called
How did he get to that?
How?
Through something called willing buyer. He bought a lot of land very cheaply.
That's
where did he get that money by?
You don't be naive, or you're lying to us, fooling us.
I'm telling you. I'm just telling you Kenyan history. That's what happened.
I understand, but
listen, I am not part of the Kenyatta family to defend them. Okay,
then don't do it. Then my family were rich too as well. They had a few goats.
I'm not part of their family, so I'm nothing. There's no land there for me,
dude. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Wait, Juma, stop it. Don't insult anyone. Just, it's okay.
You see, and do you know what pains me the most? Do you know what pains me the most?
Yes.
This guy calling me names here has probably is not bothered. He is not bothered by what the royal family of England owns in Kenya.
Why do I
that
care?
doesn't bother him.
Do I live in England?
But you're obsessed. But you're obsessed with who owns.
Dude, you have like those people who are like feel like they're white but they're poor, or they're black. This is what you have. This is what you're struggling with. You think you're more privileged than anybody else.
Why should I feel that way?
Why are you defending somebody even if factually we cannot verify how Kenyatta became a multi-billionaire?
I just told you how. He bought land cheaply.
I told you the same thing on the same token. My family had goats and cows. How many 10,000 acres do we have? None, dude.
Was your father the president?
Does it mean the president to be rich?
Ridiculous.
There you go again.
Right.
He was in a privileged position. He took advantage of it.
So again, the word is advantage. Advantage means what? Corruption, dude. Think.
Then do me a favor. Please move to Cuba.
Move
to Cuba. Become a communist where everyone is equal.
Communism is a white man's name.
Go to Cuba. You seem to like that system where nobody has anything above another.
You have a white man.
I like that.
Yeah, there's Cuba. There's North Korea. There's actually the places you can go where everybody is the same.
I like it. But it's good.
Kenya
it's good
is a country where people will be richer than others. You have to live with it.
That's okay. I think that's not.
Some people will have billions of dollars and others will have nothing. That's just the way things are. You have to accept it and move on.
No. We do not have to accept people exploiting others. That's why
Trust me. Oh my God. That's how England is built. That's how America is built. It's been going on for centuries. And you are up against a massive fight.
Where are you from? Oxford? Dude, you're Kenyan. You're a fucking black person. What's wrong?
I love your vocabulary, by the way. You're very good at vocabulary.
I don't care about your vocabulary. I'm just saying We will not allow anybody exploiting one of us, even if we are not the one taking advantage. We will not. If you stole, return everything that you stole. Even if you did, you got something out of the Kenyatta family, we're coming for it too. Be afraid.
Oh, please do. Please do. Come.
Okay. So the basic thing is this that Juma was advocating for, and most Kenyans are. They're saying this: we should audit, and actually it's in the Constitution, Article 226.5. Any public official who have misappropriated money before, we know the scandals from everything. I can go list down. They should return the money. They are responsible for paying that money. So we can start from 1963 when we got independence and audit all the lands, money, all that stuff. And that's where we can find these questions that we are asking, that Bernard is asking here. How did he do this? We did this. I mean, it's open. It's not a secret that we know Moi, Kenyatas and Kibakis and Odingas have been stealing land here and there. I mean, scandal after scandal. We know that. Yes, it's good to question, and I appreciate the fact that you're bringing and you're asking, hey, show me where fine. That's a legit question. I'm not but that's why we are saying if we had a responsible government, we can sit down and see, okay, ile pesa ya Eurobond ilienda wapi? SGR, how much did you spend, really? How much? That's the whole point. And we, the people who are responsible for it, you pay back or you get hanged. That's how we should do it. And I'm for it. So, yes, so you're asking the right questions, but yeah, go ahead.
So, there's this thing about, many of us who grew up in the Moi era, and there was a lot of anger against Biwott. And there are all sorts of stories being accused. He owns what, he's stolen what. So, but when he died, so many years later, all of us got to, quote unquote, now audit, because this was a court case, because now his family is fighting over the property. And Biwott, because at one point, it was more than Biwott in Kenya. He was called Total Man. This guy was untouchable.
The Bull of Auckland.
Yes, but a few months after his funeral, any person who is politically curious was able to do just through the court case, just audit how much this guy worth. What did he steal? And lo and behold, the guy was worth only 1.4 billion. So the problem of what you're saying, what you're saying, there's so much anger and bitterness in Kenya because of all the issues we're going through. But there's also so much hearsay. Oh, so and so has stolen so much. Eurobond is 20 billion, whatever. But when all is said and done, these amounts of money are not as big as we think. I'm not saying it's not important, and I'm not saying it's okay to steal. But are they worth our energy?
Yes.
And
yes. Absolutely. If we are paying a debt, if my neighbor who is a cop, if my neighbor who is a nurse is not getting paid, and we're paying a loan that we didn't even take, it's important. Even if he's getting paid $50,000, it's important. If somebody died because somebody stole 2 million Kenya shillings, and you are the one who stole, you are liable. This is not a joke anymore. This is not a joke anymore.
So why don't you solve the Biwott issue first? How many people did Biwott kill?
Actually, all of it from 1963, all of it, including Biwott.
It is next to impossible. What you're asking to be done?
You're just
no,
naive.
It's not.
There was show me a society in the world that did what you're saying. If what you're saying is practical.
Angola just
is first world.
Ribo, we don't even need Angola. Not. We need to build.
So Angola is a shining beacon of Africa?
Is Kenya?
No.
No. We don't need to history, bro. History is for morons. Morons, I mean. Before
no.
It's for morons.
Hold on. Calm down.
We are writing our history.
Let's be reasonable here.
If you steal,
hold on.
If somebody come and steal my chicken, we ban them. Nobody asks questions. The same thing. If you stole money for a road, we ban you.
No. You and I don't seem to understand that you and I disagree and actually agree on the fact that stealing is wrong. You and I agree on the fact that Kenya should become a better country that caters for everyone. But we seem to be disagreeing. We seem to be disagreeing on the approach to take Kenya to the next level. For me, I don't believe anger and revenge is what will bring us to paradise. I just don't believe that.
People are angry. There's no reason why we stopped last year, 2 years before. We have to go back from when we choose. You don't happen to tell me or us when we have to go back and audit. The Kenyan people have, can I finish? Don't interrupt me. The Kenyan people have said, the whole thing is messed up. We have to audit everything in our country. When we got our own land, we're trying to get our own fucking freedom for the first time. We audit our country. Why is it? What's so hard for that to happen? Banks have bank records. Loans have loans records from IMF and since 1950. We'll go back and audit all of them. If you can prove and you have a lot of things you can explain, we'll come for them. Those belongs to us. Homeless people, go there, live there. It's not a fucking joke anymore.
All right. This is what I wanted to say. Actually, 2 years, the Senate, I think it was Omtato started the whole thing. He asked for the audit to be to audit the Senate, I think, to audit the ISO, the spending that happened in the past 10 years, Uhuru Ruto's Nino, and none other than Kimani Chungwa and among others who say, no, we can't do that. That's way too back. We are going, it's too much. What I'm trying to say is this: there's no political will to do so because these people are corrupt. They're all corrupt. These senators, MPs, they're all in it. Okay? So don't expect this current crop of politicians, the Senate and the legislative body, I think the National Assembly too, who are supposed to be responsible to be conducting this audit to do their jobs, because they are actually part of, some of them are paid by this Moi Biwott family. And to go back to Biwott actually, if you're going to say that the courts audited his Ninio, that's like Hassan Joho telling us that he's worth 2 billion or 1 billion, I don't know what billion. If he says it's probably like 10 trillion. I'm just exaggerating, but he can't tell you the accurate number of how much he really is worth.
No. For Biwott, it was a family fight about the dividing the inheritance. So
right.
this is coming from the actual stakeholders. So this is a fight about how to divide it. So for me, as a person with the political interest, I'm looking at what they're dividing. And the things that he was being accused of owning, he did actually own. And the biggest piece of Biwott's assets was Sarit Center. This thing in Hurlingham, Yaya Center. That was his biggest single asset.
My point is this: for example, if there was an audit was to happen on Uhuru's Uhuru Kenyatta, what he owns or whatever the case is, these guys have people who they hire to actually do just that, hide how much they own. That's why when they asked him in the presidential whatever, he said, I don't know, some number that wasn't even close to what people estimate he owns, okay? Because they hide their assets. That's the whole point of hiding. Biwott probably hid his assets in Europe or Australia and whatever the case is, Paris. So they can only go by what within the country, Kenya, or whatever. They can't go because it's a whole another story if you're going to try to get stuff from another country. Let's say if Uhuru Kenyatta has apartments in England, it will be a whole nother process because the Kenyan government has to work together with the British government to see how they reclaim that asset. And it's a whole nother process. And by the way, those apartments that the Kenyatta family own in England might not be in the name of Uhuru if you're auditing Uhuru Kenyatta. It might be under. That's why you hear this
his mother's name.
company and all. Listen,
no,
why you hear this.
The mother.
Hold on.
It's the mother who owns them.
Right.
She's alive.
Right, but listen.
She's alive.
Right, but I'm saying they usually use shell companies and all that stuff. So it's not as easy as you think. So when you hear be what earnings do you what in Kenya, that's just a scratch of what is actually owns.
Hello?
If you were to take a real Ninio, this guy was a billionaire, a dollar billionaire. That's my point I was trying to make.
And this goes back to what we were trying to talk. That we have to audit. And audit means, like, for example, if I worked as a teacher, I worked as a teacher.
Right.
I never even got a shilling out of it in Kenya.
Right.
But you on the same token, you can't tell me I worked as a teacher, as a kid, and somehow I have a land not even worth 10,000 acres anywhere. Not even 10, 100. I should be able to verify how I got that. And if there was a corruption in that deal, we'll go back and charge people in that deal. It's not a joke anymore.
Right. Bernard, are you there? I think you're on the phone or somewhere. A good example is Juma. A good example is Oscar Sudi. Remember when he was on Obina's show and Obina asked him, what kind of business do you do? and remember the answer he gave? He was like, ungekuja mchana, I could have told you the kind of businesses I run. As if that will make a difference. But anyway, that's a perfect example of how jamaa ambaye alikuwanga makanga became an MP, and within I don't know how many years now he's a freaking probably a billionaire. You know, that's an example of what we are talking about. But anyway, my dear friends, I have about 5 minutes. Can we wrap it up? Tomorrow nitakuja mapema kidogo ndio tuchambue siasa. Najua you guys are busy, problem mko kazini ama mko nyumbani or whatever the case is. Bernard, are you in a position where you can say something ama umeshikana? Yeah, I think he was on a phone call or something. All right, Juma, do you have anything to say?
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
No, I'm saying we are basically having our final remark. I was just closing up, so I was asking if you have anything to say regarding what we've talked about.
This is what I can say. We're in a revolution, and we're being distracted by all these tribal divisions that are being pushed by the government to divide us among tribal lines. We have an obligation to change Kenya, and the focus right now should be to remove Ruto. And Kenya is not a country of angels, so to imagine that we can remove Ruto and get a group of angels to manage our government where there's no corruption and everybody is walking in a straight line, and we can pinpoint where every dollar is going to projects, that is fantasy. We have to work with current systems and the current culture. Change occurs at the margin. When you hear someone with very grand ideas about how to sweep things and change things radically, there's nothing in the world that has ever been built radically, like boom, like from scratch. In a week, you have superpower. It's a long process. It's a painful process. And if we change things slowly, one by one, that is how things move forward. We were able to stop the finance bill from being published. Ruto had an egg in the face because of the finance bill. He withdrew it. Now his government is unstable, and everyone is acknowledging it, including Boni Halowale. Is now telling Ruto, you can try and patch this thing with ODM and bring so-and-so here to help you out, but the country is restless because of the amount of corruption that's going on. This is Boni Halowale is a Ruto man. If Boni Halowale is saying this, things are thick. So if we focus all our energy on removing Ruto, that is a good step. To me, I don't like Gachagua, but if Gachagua was to take over the government, I think it's one step forward. He is not an angel. but it would have made history. A Kenyan president was removed by popular upheaval because of mismanaging a country. And now Gachagua will most likely be, he'll be shaken by the events. He will know that power, in fact, if we removed Ruto, power would go back to the people. And Gachagua will be on notice. We are asking you to do A, B, C, D. Appoint one corrupt person, and even you, we're coming for you. So that's my closing remark. Let's be practical, and let's not view things in a tribal lens. And let's be united, and let's remember the blood that has already been shed. So many Kenyans have died in this revolution. The kids shot dead in the streets, maimed, journalists shot and killed. For the sake of those Kenyans who have been killed, let us sustain the struggle.
All right. Thank you very much, Bennett. All right, Juma.
It's unfortunate when the land, its people are asking for its freedom. And we have some of us who think we are naive enough to think the problem is just Ruto, who will deceive and lie to us that this issue starts and ends with Ruto. The debt that we are being made to pay, our poor people, don't forget, some of us have money here, whatever we are, our poor people are the ones being paid, asked to pay billions and trillions. And again, as I say, please don't get deceived by people who are telling you the problem starts here. When someone tells you the problem starts and ends here, that should tell you they are not a part of you, they're just part of what you want, but they want you to end it here because they know they are part of the problem in the past. And my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, not everyone in this group, in anywhere you go, they are part of the solution. Some of us are beneficiaries of people who have looted our land, who are working with the same people who has put our people, our kids, the worst part of it, our kids, in the situation that we're in. Some of us claim to be Gen Zs, the older the millennials and all that stuff. Some of us are part of the problems, and that's why they don't want people to go back and verify and audit things. Some of us are criminals. That's why when you say, let's go find the things that were stolen in an island somewhere, safe haven, they say, how can you verify that? How can you verify that? And I ask on the same token, how can you prove that they are not corrupt? We have seen documents, Ruto, Uhuru, everything they have abroad. We have seen them. Some of us work in those banks too. So when people are coming here to deceive others, please, ladies and gentlemen, not everybody in this place is a part of a solution. They're the part of the problems that we need to look forward and fix. When we get Ruto, and it doesn't mean Ruto, it means everybody who has been the part of the government, they are corrupt. Corrupt. And if people died in your corruption nonsense, I fail to understand how people don't understand what curse is. If a kid wasn't born, who was maybe the smartest kid in Kenya, and you oversaw that kid dying because there was no medications, whatever you do, the few money you have, it will haunt you to death. and it's a curse. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruto, the government, and all the political class have to go. Thank you.
Wow, I like that. You know, Bernard and Kiki Ojuma, I need to bring you guys every day because I like that static between you. I like it. I like that energy. You're challenging each other. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I have to end it here. I won't even add anything. I like what's Bernard's perspective and Juma's perspective. You know, I'll stay. Since I have to go, I have to end it here. But thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. And we'll have this talk. Hopefully, we'll be joined by others too. So if you haven't subscribe, share, comment, like, and put your notification on. I'll see you guys later. Juma, thank you so much. Tuonane.
Ribo.
I'm Namnagani.
Yes, sir. Ribo, we missed
Yes.
over the weekend. We have to talk. We have to fix our country. Over the weekend, we missed you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Weekend, you know, I tried to take a break a little bit. So okay,
it's all good.
and also my team lost, so I was in a bad mood.
Oh, my bad.
But Chelsea ilicharazwa bwana, so I had to cry kidogo. But okay, I'll try. That's a good point. I'll be here. I'll be here on the weekend.
There's a void. There's a void in the weekend thing.
Okay.
Hit me up on the side. Hit him on the side, but I can take over a little bit.
Sour. Let me just see. Email, Ama. Which works for you? Email?
I will find you somewhere. I'll try to find you somewhere else.
All right. Okay. I'll be here every day. So peace and blessings.